Because I asked Senator Inhofe, when Senator Bozeman was questioning about the wood, I was trying to find out from him the issue, and so I'm going to ask the two of you to talk to me about this. The point made by Senator Inhofe is that in order to meet the LEED standard, you have to have a certain type of wood, and that means that the wood, that it has to be the building. In order to qualify, you have to import the wood from other places rather than use the wood we have in this country. Is that an accurate statement, Mr. Gatlin, and then followed by Mr. Hubbell?
I think it's an inaccurate statement.
Inaccurate.
The standard relies on use of third-party standards wherever possible, and in that case, the standard is for sustainable wood products. And I don't
explain what sustainable wood products mean versus unsustainable.
It's how they're harvested. It's the type of woods. It's the forest management practices.
I see.
And we have a lot of sustainable forestry in this country.
So it's not the wood itself. It's not hardwood versus softwood.
It's not the type of wood. And if I could just mention, this is a voluntary credit. It's pursued in maybe 40% of projects, but you have to understand wood is not that significant a building material in commercial buildings. So. But we are not in any way linked to a standard that encourages use of wood from a particular location or destination.
Okay, so, and let me repeat this, and then I ask Mr. Hubbell and Senator Bozeman. I'm very interested in your response. So what you're saying is, the fact is that there is no standard that you can't use a certain type of wood.
The third-party standard, which we refer to in the LEED rating system, requires the use of sustainable practices in the growth and the production of the wood.
But
it's not a type of wood. It's not a destination or a growing location of wood. We also have a credit that focuses on using regional materials. Those are materials that are grown or manufactured locally, and actually 90% of our projects pursue that credit. So that credit is equally or more significant than the sustainable wood credit. Well, it doesn't necessarily offset it. It's just that we try to encourage the use of locally grown and manufactured materials wherever we possibly can.
Because of the shipping costs and all that?
For our members, it was first and foremost because of the environmental benefits with using and growing local materials, but also there's economic benefits to stuff that's manufactured domestically.
Sure. Now, Mr. Hubbell, could you give me your answer to that?
Sure. The difference between LEED and Green Globes on that particular issue is that LEED gives credit for forest certification under one forest certification system called FSC. Green Globes gives that same credit, but we recognize not just FSC, but we recognize other major rating systems that are used in the United States. The question you asked, Senator, about wood not being eligible under LEED, the vast majority of domestic wood in this country, to my knowledge, does not participate in the FSC program. So they would not get
FSC
credit. FS Forest Stewardship Council or Commission or whatever it is. The vast majority of domestically grown and produced wood does not participate in that program, and so they are ineligible for those points.
Why is that? Why is that?
That's a question for Mr. Gatlin.
Mr. Gatlin, why is that?
Well, I think you'd need to have an industry representative of the forest and paper products industry. Many of the forest and paper products industry associations and their member companies like Kimberly-Clark, are active members of the U.S. Green Building Council. I would like to mention that we've worked for about 4 years on developing our own benchmarks for sustainable wood certification. And that initiative that was put to our membership, we're a member organization, our members did not vote to support the adoption of that new initiative. And I believe that, frankly, has to do with the wood industry not reaching a consensus on sustainable certification.
Okay. I have one more question. Could I ask it? I just wanted to say welcome to HP, and I'm proud of the work you're doing here. And I want to quote you, and I want to make sure I'm getting it right. You said, the green way is the way to reduce costs. Is that what you said?
Yes, that's correct.
Well, good. Senator Bozeman, the green way is the way to reduce costs, says HP.
Thank you.
I think that's really important because I certainly believe that. I always think we argue here over word sustainability. We don't have to use that word. It makes sense. You cut costs. So for me, I don't want to get into a battle over sustainability. If you can reduce costs and reach it in a good way, I'm thrilled with it.